All right, what's up, everyone? Thanks for joining. So, this is going to be one of the first new videos with the official crypto breakdown and rebrand of the channel. So, going to be having a lot more of a stronger crypto focus and having some more polished videos in the future, going through what's going on in the crypto space, news, technical breakdowns of things to expect, and various things related to crypto with more of a technical vantage point. So, first thing I want to cover tonight before the merge actually goes down is what to expect, why it's exciting. This has been years in the making, and if you're relatively new to crypto, you might not really care a whole lot or understand it. But for people that have been in the space for, I'd say, longer than a year, it's been something that has been very widely anticipated, and it's going to be a huge upgrade for Ethereum. So Ethereum right now is several $100 billion market cap blockchain, has a lot of applications running on it, and depending on it right now, we have rollups, we have side chains, we have the mainnet as well, and that's all kind of depending on the Ethereum layer one, which is a proof of work blockchain. And tonight, what is happening is basically a changing out of the engines of an airplane mid-flight. So there have been some trial runs on various Ethereum testnets beforehand over the past several months. And tonight it is going to be the mainnet merge. So everything that is running on mainnet with actual Ethereum, depending on Ethereum, the proof of work chain will no longer be supporting the forward production of blocks. It will be now proof of stake. So miners and GPUs were previously running the chain before, energy intensive, not super great for the environment. Now that consensus mechanism of proof of work will be shifting over to proof of stake. So tonight we can actually see that the merge officially, there is a particular block height that it's expected at, but it depends on the hash rate of all the miners basically, on their last leg of mining this blockchain and moving it forward. At the time of this terminal total difficulty, the miners are going to be not earning Ethereum anymore. They're going to switch over to the proof of stake model. So they're going to have to basically stake 32 Ether if they have it to a new validator. So, and then that validator will be staking that Ether, and consensus will now depend on proof that you have that Ethereum staked to your validator. So it'll be a lot less energy intensive, 99.95% energy reduction is expected. So that'll, I think, really boost the narrative for Ethereum. And a lot of the haters right now and the mainstream don't like blockchain because of how dirty and energy intensive it is and how it's taking energy away from, actual people that need it. But now I think that narrative will shift a lot. So we have about 5 hours until the target is reached. It'll be exciting to see. And essentially what's going to be happening here is, we have the beacon chain, which was the initial launch of the proof of stake chain about a year ago. Or actually it was about a year ago or a year and a half ago. This beacon chain was deployed so people could start staking and getting their validators ready. So we can probably see Ethereum to deposit contract. So let's see where it is. So you can actually see the deposit contract that you have to go through to produce a new Ethereum validator. So all these validators are going to be actually upholding the blockchain at the time of the merge. So right now we can see in current value, dollar value of Ethereum, it's about $22 billion worth of Ethereum locked up in this deposit contract. So that's pretty significant. It's a lot of money here. And if you divide that, or if you actually divide the Ether balance by 32, so there is probably an explorer to view all this, but if we just divide that by 32, you can see there's over 400,000 different validators already just running the blockchain and ready and waiting for the merge to happen. And then at which point the merge occurs at this difficulty, now all these validators that have deposited here and are running their nodes will now be responsible for upholding the chain and processing transactions. So I think that's going to be pretty significant. Really hope that everything goes smoothly and that we don't have any sort of disaster scenarios. I think it's very unlikely that a disaster scenario occurs, but I'm sure by the time you're viewing this video, we'll know if something went wrong or not. So I think, we're going to have here this beacon chain. It's going to be merging. We're going to have two different clients, two different software clients that are going to be responsible for Ethereum. We're going to have the consensus client, so that's the proof of stake client related to management of the keys of the validator and ensuring that the stake is valid and that transactions for consensus and committing blocks are valid. And then we're going to have this execution client, which is going to be responsible for processing activity on the chain. And every time you want to interact with actual chain activity and modifying the state of the chain. So we're going to have the execution client, consensus client. Those will be responsible for upholding Ethereum. And then later on, there's a lot of scaling improvements planned. So right now, it's kind of viewed that Ethereum is only going to be 55% complete. So only halfway done with the vision for Ethereum with this merge, this giant merge upgrade. And Bitcoin, it's believed to be 80% complete with its vision. So Bitcoin more of like kind of maintaining its traditional vision, what it was originally designed to be, whereas Ethereum having more of a dynamic vision, and most other blockchains have more of a dynamic vision to them. So Bitcoin is definitely unique in that. But it's planned that after the merge, it's kind of dubbed these kind of weird names like the Surge, the Verge, the Purge, the Splurge, happening in parallel. These are going to be a bunch of different upgrades planned out over the next, who knows, maybe it's going to take a decade to roll all these out. But, these are kind of just like a quick overview of what's planned. So we have the merge, full transition to proof of stake. And then, withdrawals still need to be enabled. So all of this Ether, none of this is withdrawable right now. So once you deposit it, it's locked up in here. And the next step is going to be figuring out how do we unlock this. So how do validators actually extract their yield from this? And so that'll be exciting once those go live, but currently that is not live. And next we're going to have the Surge, so scalability increases for rollups through sharding. So sharding, when you're breaking up the chain into starting, I believe, with 64 different shards. So the blockchain, you're breaking up into these 64 different parallel processes, which should really help scale the chain and scale the TPS of the base layer chain. The Verge, implementing a new type of data structure to how the chain stores information. And, I don't fully understand this, but there's a lot of technical work being done here and research into how this can help scale the chain. And the Purge, a lot of historical data from years ago. You currently do need to store that on your client when you run a full node. And the Purge is aimed at eliminating a lot of historical junk data that you might not actually need to store on your computer in order to run a successful node. So instead, that a lot of these old pieces of data are going to be accessible through archive nodes, but it's not going to be a hard requirement to run an archive node. So that should be another interesting update. And then the Splurge, just other kind of nice to have improvements to the chain to help improve how nodes run and operate and support the chain to increase scalability so that everyday users can be interacting with Ethereum, using applications on it, and it being as similar to of a feel as a Web2 experience where it's very fast and cheap to actually do things, but it would be done through this decentralized consensus mechanisms as opposed to everything being very centralized like they are today. So this is the long-term vision to actually onboarding billions of people into the blockchain ecosystem. And Ethereum won't be the only chain that does this. There's tons of other blockchains that are working on addressing scalability and have that incorporated into their vision. But Ethereum right now is so far the biggest chain that has the most root of activity on it at the moment. So it's definitely a very massive event for the crypto community. And no matter which blockchain that you're rooting for, I think everyone can agree that this is still a very significant event, and it's in everyone's best interest that this goes well. And I strongly believe that it will. So yeah, we'll have to see ultimately, but I'm feeling pretty optimistic about it. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I really wanted to talk about right now. It's been in the works for a very long time, so it's exciting to see it finally coming to fruition in the next few hours. So yeah, that's all I got right now. Waiting with you like everyone else and hoping that this goes by smoothly and that it all pays off. So yeah, again, going to have some more polished videos in the future with more of a structure. Going to have the camera connected as well. And yeah, just really want to get this out before the merge goes down. So excited to see what happens, and I'll catch everyone next time.